Radio Zero with Rick and Rose, Friday, July 24th, 5:02 p.m. The year is 2026, and happy birthday to everybody.
Whose birthday is it?
It's everybody's birthday today, it seems
really?
like. Yeah.
Oh. We're live streaming on Facebook on the Radio Zero page and Poster Children page, on Twitch at PCJC USA, and on the Poster Children YouTube channel. You can also subscribe to the podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Casts, or go to radiozero.us. You can patronize us at patreon.com/radiozero. Thank you to all our Patreon donors.
I'm trying to. There's nothing worse than somebody talking about like the sausage being made here. Okay, never mind. I won't talk about it. All right, so
I'm trying to figure out why your voice is so quiet. It seems like it's not coming through.
Check 1 2. It's coming through my headphones.
Okay. That's better.
Yeah, I just wasn't talking into the microphone probably. Okay. So, I mean, I'm trying to pull up where it says Poster Children. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, and then I've got the restream thing too. All right, so well, we have a list of things to do. Well, you're like heavy in the middle of a secret project that you probably can't talk about, right?
I don't know how secret is, but I there's nothing to talk about really.
The Salaryman video.
Yeah, we're prepping for it.
And by we, you mean you. It's just you're doing all the work.
I guess so.
Valentin and Son. The Son is absent because Son is doing a video shoot somewhere else.
That's true.
Yeah. So it's just all you doing everything. It's pretty amazing. I keep, like, I'll find Rick outside spray painting a table, or I'll find him upstairs spray painting a table. like you're like hanging shit up. Lots of mysterious packages have come to our door.
Yeah.
So very excited to see this. This kind of reminds me of the video that you made, like the What's Inside. I think it was the What's Inside the Box video, though. But it's nice because we're not going on tour the day afterwards.
And I didn't make that video. We prepped it.
We prepped it. Yeah.
Matt. From Thin White Rope.
Did that video?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, it's still like, I don't know. It's.
It is. I mean, the more I think about it, it's just there are a lot of themes, reoccurring themes in
our lives,
in the videos. I do.
Videos, yeah.
It's a little.
That's not true.
There it is. There's a rut. Well, I'll explain it to you. Later.
Okay. All right. It's not for other ears to hear.
Well,
okay.
I would rather talk about it.
Yeah.
After the video's done.
Okay.
And is out, which isn't going to happen for another month.
Right.
Well, actually, hopefully 2 weeks. So we'll see.
Okay. So we've got a list of things here. Playlist to pick up Rick. Who is the most Buddhist band? We didn't talk about that last on the 10th, huh?
No,
that was.
That was.
And then is Jeff Tweedy an asshole? And then the bear with the question mark. That's weird. That was last week, except maybe not, or 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks.
Yeah. Okay, so this week, I sort of interrupted the flow of everything and wrote being on stage with the Didjits. That's my first. You had the Odyssey, and we have a bunch of.
All right. Yeah.
Should we tell people what we're going to? Okay. Don't tell people what we're going to teach them, and then teach them, and then. Yeah, I won't read the list. So being on the stage with the Didjits. So the Didjits, and it's not the Didjits, it's Didjits, right? Are you frustrated with me?
No, I'm just
okay.
I'm tired.
All right. So we went to Cobra Fest, right? Isn't that what that was?
You're asking me. You wrote that.
You were there.
I was, but you wrote.
Right, and we saw
the
Dianoga. Remember, you're not the one who's like taken an anastrozole and can't remember fucking
I'm sorry.
anything.
Yeah, I forget that.
No, you don't. But you can remember stuff at least.
Yeah.
Your sleep problems don't mess with your memory. It seems like, or do they?
Nope, I'm fine.
No, you're.
Yeah. Go on.
What I was saying is that they don't mess with your memory.
Yeah. No,
your
I'm sorry. I should have. I'm not.
How do I hang this up? Hang up. Can I just hang up and walk out of here like Gene Simmons? Are we fighting now?
No, you're just saying that you're at a disadvantage, and I'm not. Yeah, sorry. So I'm.
Okay,
yeah,
so we
I
went to
need to
Cobra Fest.
remember-
I'm remembering
I need to
now.
remember
I'm remembering that we went to
for us.
Cobra Fest. You don't have to remember. And we saw Dianoga, and then we saw, who was the band from Kansas?
Shiner.
They were fantastic. And the sun was setting, and there were lots and lots of people there, and it was in the middle of Tolono, Illinois. It was wonderful. We got to see Matt Talbot, who owns the Loose Cobra, and whose fest it was.
Who owns Tolono?
Yeah, that was great. And Shiner was fantastic. We before that we went and ate Ethiopian food. Remember? Now I'm remembering all this stuff.
I do remember.
Yeah, that was so good. And because there's an Ethiopian place in Champaign, at least one. So we saw Shiner. And we missed the other bands, and that it was sad. And we were doing something else for most of the day too. It was like there was no way to get there earlier, I think.
You were in Champaign earlier, and then you came back.
Yeah, I was in Champaign, and then I came back. God only knows why I was in Champaign, though.
You were doing capoeira, right?
Was I?
I thought. Maybe not. Or no, it was a Taekwondo thing? Did you have to go to a special meeting? Was that the special meeting?
I can't remember. That I can't remember. Anyway, there was a day where I had to go twice to Champaign, and it was weird. Right? But so the earlier, I don't know, like a couple of weeks before that, I had been like texting with Rick Didjit because I think we saw them play. We didn't play with them because we haven't played a show for a long time. We saw them play. They were fantastic. I was like, oh, you're so great. And then he sort of invited us to come on the stage with him over Facebook Messenger. That was really, really, and I was like, oh my God, that would be so much fun. What song would we play? And he said, well, how about Who's Ready to Get High? And I was like, that's perfect.
Kind of, yeah.
It's just like, because the funny thing is we don't usually get high.
That's true.
We're known as being straight edge. But he was also talking about how, it was going to be like a homecoming. He was really excited to play a show in Champaign, and all the people were going to be there, and they were, and it was wonderful. They were fantastic. And he so I was really scared because I was like, does he still want us to come on stage? And he was like, yeah, and then he they were fantastic as usual. They're like the two boys who are playing with Rick now.
The young men.
The young men are fantastic. They're just perfect. And they're really, really nice too. And but the thing is, and it was really fun getting on the stage with them. But you know what it seemed like? I don't know. You've been on the stage with other bands before.
I guess.
I think you have, right?
Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah, and I feel like I maybe have, but of course I don't remember because I can't remember anything. But being on the stage with them, to me, it reminded me of like the hurricane deck at Niagara Falls. It was like it was really, there was a lot of power there. I really appreciated that. It was really cool, and getting to sing those words because I know a lot of words to a lot of Didjits songs. Oh, I haven't been monitoring the restream chat. Oops. Okay. There. Oh, we got Cody Brown saying Hum is the best band ever. That's right, Cody. They are the best band ever, but the Didjits are better. Sorry. It might be a subjective thing too. Like I may,
You think?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, hold on. Scam Likely is calling me again. I better send them to voicemail. So anyway, that was really but do you remember if you go to Niagara Falls, you can pay extra money and you go to it's like the hurricane. I think it was called the hurricane deck. And so there's this so you're kind of inside Niagara Falls, but you're on this deck.
You go under the falls.
Yeah. And it was just it's like being in a hurricane.
It was walking. It wasn't on a boat, right? We
Correct.
did that. Yeah.
We walked and we stood somewhere and we had special like slippers to stand in that area. Remember? And it was just like you're standing inside of a waterfall. Like and you can let the water fall on you, but it's like it's the most powerful thing you've ever felt.
Yeah, lots of water.
And that's how it felt like being on the stage with them. And I thought, oh well, that's probably how it feels like being on the stage with us too. Is it's kind of very powerful. So anyway, yeah. So that's all.
We don't usually have people on stage with us.
That's correct. And I don't know if the Didjits usually have people on stage with them either.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, so that it was. I mean, weren't you? I was so honored that he asked us to be on the stage with us.
I just like looking at the video and photos. I could tell I didn't know what to do with my arms. So it's a little weird.
Yeah. You gave the sign of the devil. You gave
That's
the
true.
sign. That was cool. Yeah. It was great. I thought it was. You're like dejected now because you feel like you did a bad job.
No,
okay.
I'm just saying I didn't know what to do with my arms.
Yeah. You could have like air guitared.
I think I did at some point. No, I twiddled my fingers when he played a solo.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Cody's saying the Maid of the Mist. Yeah. We weren't
Did we go on the boat?
No, we did not go on the boat,
okay.
but we went on the
deck. You walk down a stairway and you've got the slicker on. It's kind of like the boat, right? But I feel like maybe we went on the boat.
You've been on the boat before when you were younger.
I was on the boat. Yeah, that's
you
right.
Were on the boat.
50 years ago.
Yes.
Okay. But this was just walking down the platform.
Correct.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was very very pleasant, but very very strong, like very Yeah. Okay. And so they're playing it's whatever is up in Green Bay. They're playing like this weekend, I think.
Oh yeah.
And Manor Astroman is playing, and so is like DJs. Oh my God! Now I can't remember what DJ's band is called. What are those guys called?
Body Futures.
Yeah. They're playing all this like. Oh, my mom is listening. Hi, Mom. So okay, so we'll move on now. What do you want to? I chose the first one, so you can choose the second one now.
Well, we made a journey to Indianapolis. One might call it an Odyssey.
Yeah.
To see a movie. The frustrating thing. So Indianapolis State Museum has a 70 millimeter IMAX, not a 70 millimeter, not an IMAX, but IMAX 70 millimeter. So there are all those differentiations. So like when you didn't go to see Oppenheimer, right?
No, I was coming back from somewhere.
The boys and I saw Oppenheimer on 70 millimeter, not IMAX.
Did you see the Barbie movie too?
Saw Oppenheimer, but you and I, all of us saw Oppenheimer again on IMAX in Los Angeles, but it was the digital IMAX projection, and then was it 70 millimeter or 35 millimeter that I saw with the boys of Oppenheimer, and that was film projected, and they complained a little bit. But then, so the Odyssey, we went to the Indianapolis State Museum, waited, had to compete for tickets and everything like that to see the actual film 70 millimeter full frame projection. And then, of course, like last week, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it seemed like Woodridge, the theater in Woodridge. Now
which is closer.
Hadn't been a 70 millimeter full IMAX projection in the Chicago area, Illinois, anywhere, until last Thursday. They opened up in Woodridge, put in a projector, and opened the theater. And I got a little ticked off about that because we wound up having to drive all the way to Indianapolis, which is like 2.5 hours from our house. But it was great. It was a great little adventure.
It was, and so we're getting a really good, glimpse of the hum demographic here from Cody Brown, who says Indiana is the worst state. So if you feel like Hum is the best band ever, you probably hate Indiana. Like we're getting a whole profile of the.
Well, Indiana, that was a little bit of trivia. Talked about how Indianapolis was the center of Klan Klan activity in the 1920s, the 1920s era Klan. People don't know. A lot of people don't know that it was a more sort of Midwest, central city, or more urban movement at that time.
The other end of it being in Idaho, right?
No, that's later.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. All right.
This is 1920s I'm talking about.
Back when it was cool.
What else? Oh, yeah, that one time where, the guy pumping gas at a gas station when we were on tour had a little swastika on his hand. I remember that. Or at the gas station somewhere in the middle of nowhere. But that was 30 years ago. I'm sure that's not a problem now. And then, but yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm evaluating whether or not Indiana is the worst state. It's possible. But, Indianapolis is nice.
Indianapolis, actually, when we were driving in there, it was awesome. Like, there were so many interesting signs and stuff. What did we saw a sign that said something about, like, are you feeling disconnected from MAGA? You're not alone. It wasn't disconnected, but it was like, like not agreeing completely with MAGA. Mm-hmm. And then underneath it, you're not alone. Go to notagreeingwithmaga.org, and and
like,
you're with we're with other people. Like, that was really
intervention.
Yeah.
Help escaping MAGA.
Yeah. So all right. So
the Odyssey. What'd you think?
We had tickets to see it in Chicago.
IMAX here is the digital projection. It's the screen. It's more of it's like a widescreen projection. So true IMAX, like at the Pictorium at Great America or at the Air and Space Museum. So like seeing To Fly in both places, right? To Fly at the National Air and Space Museum, and then at the Pictorium. Pictorium? Was that what it was called? At Great America.
It
was I threw up outside the Pictorium, but not because of the Pictorium.
Right.
I threw up because of some other ride and sat throwing up, I remember. That's my memory of the Pictorium. Also, the very large scale projection, but the, museum kind of documentary projection, giant projections. And then, I saw an interview with Christopher Nolan talking about, he had seen To Fly at the Pictorium because he grew up in Chicago.
He's from Chicago, but he's got that Chicago accent that
his brother does.
Yeah.
That's always weird to hear his brother talk, and it's like a Chicago guy, and then him talk, and he's a London guy. But they just made conscious choices of which parent they were going to imitate. And then but then he said, he was talking about, somebody said, at the Museum of Science and Industry, and Christopher Nolan says, no, that was an omnisphere. The Museum of Science and Industry had the omnisphere, which I vaguely remember, right? That's more a curved kind of projection.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But so this was a 70 millimeter. So the film was shot in 70 millimeter, which means
70 millimeter
IMAX.
Okay. So what that means is that the 70 millimeter IMAX camera films sideways on a 70 millimeter strip of film. So just in the same way, VistaVision is a rotated 35 millimeter, so wide, like larger. You can get a bigger frame, higher resolution, and so, but it's also more, almost like Academy format. It's almost square, and that's what it was projected on at the Illinois State or Indiana State Museum.
And it was real classy too. We got like right in the center of Indianapolis at the Indiana State Museum, and then we walked in, and there, like, it was a theater. It was beautiful, really, really nice, and there were actually people there, which you live in.
Well, it was sold out. So that was the thing is, I tried to get tickets for the first 3 days, whatever it was, and those were sold out forever. And then more tickets opened up like a month or two ago, and then I got those. And then the thing is on the IMAX site, they did not have Woodridge was not up yet for sale, so I would have gotten tickets for Woodridge, and Woodridge is having like 2 a.m. showings and everything like that. So it's nuts. But anyways, so next time we'll go see Dune 3, which is not completely shot on IMAX, but I think
at
it's
Woodridge.
Partially at Woodridge, maybe.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, okay. So you wanted to know what I thought of it?
Yeah, what else you were talking about the format? Yeah. So that's the thing is when it's super crazy all the different aspect ratios, but you can see this online. There are all sorts of things about it, but yeah, realizing that even the IMAX here, the more common IMAX theaters, they're cropped. The frame is cropped. It's just a big screen. Widescreen experience.
When we sat down, like we got there early, or just a couple of minutes early, we sat down and they were like showing. I don't remember what they were showing. It wasn't like any coming attractions or anything, because there was some kind of reason why they weren't showing. Like there was a Christopher Nolan mandated, right, or something.
No, the theater itself said we only have 12 minutes of previews, and they had a little bit of stuff.
Right. So,
but then the thing is that for the 70 millimeter IMAX projections, they had the first few minutes of Dune 3, I think.
4 minutes of Dune 3 supplied by Denis Villeneuve, right? So, and that there was like a little thank you from Denis Villeneuve right at the beginning of it. Thank you to Christopher Nolan for letting me have this time, before the Odyssey. And then it's just, But when we walked in, like it was like a regular movie. Like the movie screen was giant, but there was just like a regular movie projection. And when I sat down, and I was thinking, like, why it's tiny? It's not. I hope Rick isn't upset. Like that's what I was thinking.
Because was it at the Music Box, the 70 millimeter? What was it? The Hateful Eight? Was that the one? Because the 35 millimeter at the Music Box is the big screen. But then I felt like when I saw the Hateful Eight, they had another screen up above the main screen, and it was tiny. It was like 70 millimeter widescreen projection, but it wasn't that big. Anyways, but this was big. Yeah, no, they were just projecting like
just a small
1920 by 1080 or something in the middle.
Yeah. And then they were like, now for our show, and then all of a sudden, like the whole room, like everything you could see was movie screen, and I was like, oh my God, it was, wow. I think I heard people be like, oh, it was so. I'd like to see that again. I would go there just.
That's
to see
the
that
point
again.
of it is that it's supposed to be immersive. You're not really supposed to be looking at it from top to bottom. You're kind of supposed to be looking at the middle, but you can look around.
Yeah,
right?
And it felt like that too. Yeah. And also, like, I think there was talking at the beginning of it. I can't remember if there was talking beforehand. I think it was talking beforehand, like telling us to, you need to turn off all your, your phones and
we'll
stuff.
We'll throw you out if you're videotaping this.
But it felt like, so that's when I noticed that the sound was really good. And I know the sound is not always good by us here, because I know, like, a lot of times there's a lot of complaining about.
Well, from me, Well, no, the AMC is bad, but it's the cheap, falling apart theater. But kind of classic AMC garbage experience. But the Marcus Theater the sound's good. It's sometimes a little too loud.
Oh yeah.
But in their IMAX. And where is it? Oh no, but we did see. Where did we see where did we see Boosters? I love Boosters.
Oh my God,
did we see
that
that
was
at the
terrible.
Did we see it at the AMC?
I don't remember where we saw it.
I think we did go to the AMC.
Yeah, we couldn't hear it.
And that was the problem. Yeah. It's just bad.
Or sometimes the speakers are wired like backwards, right?
The phase.
Like
there was a time
phase.
where I could barely handle it because I could tell everything was out of phase. But and then there's the other place that was the dining theater. And then it closed down, but just recently reopened. And we went there, and we saw something there, and it was good. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, it was Joker. I remember going with Bag Boy, at the time probably Bag Boy, to see Joker, which I absolutely hated. But the projection there, it was projected, and part of it was showing on the seats below. Like they had it. It was off center.
It was so off.
Yeah. Anyways.
All right. So Cody Brown says that he's driven across the country multiple times, and he can say that Indiana is the worst. I've driven across the country multiple times too, and it's shorter than all of the other really long states like Nebraska and Kansas, and those are not bad states either. I mean, I might ask you, what do you think of Nevada? I'm not like a huge fan of like driving through Ohio. So I don't know what what you mean by worst. Like worst, like so you'll have to explain that, Cody. And then also says that they should have cast a real Cyclops. And here's the thing about the Cyclops. It had a nice ass.
Oh, yeah.
I was looking at the Cyclops.
I wonder if it was, so it was Bill Irwin. When I saw in the credits Bill Irwin, or it said, Bill Irwin was in it, I was like, holy cow, who was Bill Irwin? Was he the old man
Who's
at the
Bill
beginning?
Irwin?
And Bill Irwin's kind of, well, I guess you would call him a clown. He's like an acrobat kind of vaudeville artist.
Oh, okay.
He also played Mr. What's he called in the Elmo things? Elmo, like Mr. Cheeseball or something. Mr. Goofball. There'd be these shorts, and sometimes it was Bill Irwin, but he's oh God, what did he was on Saturday Night Live a couple times, but the big thing is there's the stage show he did that's really amazing. But he could do the thing like where, walking into a box, where you kind of like like really complicated. And then I'm trying to think of some other things, what he did on Saturday Night Live a couple of times.
Wow, so he must be pretty old.
He is, yeah, I think so. But so that was kind of neat that he was the Cyclops, but I don't know if that was his real butt.
So, all right, so what I thought about, he hates Ohio and Nevada too. Okay, now we're getting somewhere, Cody. And you shouldn't hate those states. They're trying their best. And there's good things about all the states. Okay.
They're like your children.
I have favorite parts of every
There's
state.
no favorite. You
can't
can't choose your favorite or worst state.
Yeah. There was a lot of movie there. And I was very entertained. I was very entertained for the whole movie up until right near the end, with the flying dragons around now I'm making an Avengers joke, like too much pew pew pew. There was a lot of.
So that's the thing, is there was a lot of action, a lot of fighting, at the end, and the fight scenes, it went on a little long, but the thing is that it was real. It wasn't the kind of crazy manic Transformers shit that is in all the superhero movies,
This was real, man.
Marvel garbage. And so it's over, that. So to me, it was now realizing it's like, oh, okay, yeah, it was nice because it wasn't that crazy manic action movie stuff, but it was still
a little bit right near the end. I was getting a little uncomfortable because it's 4-hour movie.
It was only I think it was only 2.5, 3, maybe
no,
almost
it was
3.
Over 3. It seemed.
I don't think it was over 3.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it was.
Yeah.
I didn't like so like the swearing I was okay with, but just mom and dad. I didn't like Tom Holland calling them mom and dad. Like mother and father. Please do that.
I liked it.
And I kind of tolerated the American accents, but of course it's much more appropriate when you're doing the classics, right? Everyone should have an English accent.
So, that brings me to April Smith says hi and says Elon is going to make a version of the Odyssey using AI slap technology. The AI slap, quote, actors will be all white.
Because, okay.
Is that's because I have seen,
because it's
when I see
and
Elon's face on my feed, I don't look at it anymore. Like
you're Elon blind.
Yeah. What were you going to say?
I mean, and there's the history of, having diverse diversity in acting and performing and, updating classics and everything like that. And I mean, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, and it's like, if you want things to be hyper realistic, then it's like, it wouldn't be a bunch of white people. It'd be a bunch of, it would be white people, but it'd be a bunch of Greek.
Yeah. Cody's saying, why wasn't it all in Greek?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so you could say, oh, yeah, like much more realistic, like what was it called? The Passion of Christ. What was the Mel Gibson movie where it was all in Aramaic or something, right?
I don't know.
But it was all white people. It wasn't realistic.
Yeah. Fuck
either,
Elon.
so.
It's a movie. It's a myth. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. But I am a little upset with the mom and dad, the informality of it, and then looking up like the swearing. It's like, oh yeah, if the F word's not that old, and so people would say, "Oh, by Zeus" or something like that. They curse Zeus.
Did
but
they
there's
say
so much.
fuck?
Yeah,
I
there was
didn't
F
even hear
and
it.
there were some F bombs. Yeah, you didn't even hear it because it's just part of your normal everyday language, right?
That's good, and that's because I mean, I'm assuming Christopher Nolan made that decision to just have it that way, so I'm not, so I can be more immersed in the story.
Yeah, and then again, there's a history of that, right? So like Orson Welles, update of whatever it was, Hamlet was a Hamlet, I don't know, in taking place in a fascist environment in the 1930s, right? Or the Harlem Shakespeare Company. It's just like there's a whole history of, reconfiguring whatever these classics. But
you
I wasn't bothered by any of that. I wasn't bothered by diversity. It's like it's fine. I would love to see a whole bunch of diverse British actors playing all the parts, right? So you did have Tom Holland, but then it was like, oh yeah, Matt Damon can't do an English accent, right? And Anne Hathaway, right, isn't English, so yeah, it would have been bad, I guess. And that's probably what happened. It's like maybe they tried it for a day, and it was like, oh, okay. Christopher Nolan's like, hey, I can put on an English accent. Why can't all of you?
Guys?
Aren't you guys actors? And then it was like, okay, everybody do an American accent. The real actors do an American accent.
I mean, I've been ignoring. I guess there's an uproar that there was diversity in this, I guess, and I'm choosing to ignore it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, anybody who even says I'm just going to ignore that. That's more. I think at this point, you see something that Trump does. And it's like it's just it's like 45% of the shit that comes across, like the New York Times, is meant to raise my raise my heartbeat, whatever, my adrenaline, and then like 20% of it is like, oh shit, that happened.
Would you? I mean, if you're doing an AI slop version of a Shakespearean play, would you have all the female parts being played by young men? AI generated men, because that's the tradition, right?
Too, yeah.
It's like, ugh, they would be like, oh, no way.
I mean, I like, but a lot of this stuff is to troll. It's to troll you. What was that? I was just listening to some kind of news. I was listening to some left-wing podcast, just talking about why Trump sues people, and he just sues people. It's like troll suing, like. He does it. He does it to make people have to pay stuff.
Yeah,
that's
expensive.
That's what a terrible person he is. That's like a festering, horrible fuck. Like that's in charge of our government right now. People hate him. Other countries hate him. By now you've got and anybody who likes him is just like trying to stick it to trying to pwn the libs still. And so I don't know. I feel like it's not. You should just not. I'm not even paying attention to it anymore. I kind of just laugh at it. I mean, I like listening to it, and that's not good. But somebody did I saw like a shoot of like some room in the White House that's just covered with gold, and that I find that really upsetting because I kind of like that kitschy look.
Well, there was the shot of the Oval Office, and then somebody saw a crazy glue package in the corner of his desk, and then that was a validation that apparently in this new book about the White House, right? They were saying that Trump likes to crazy glue these decorations on the wall himself, and then there was the next day. It was like, this is
crazy glue.
There was actual, you could actually see a crazy glue package on his desk.
Yeah. I mean, it does seem like it's not good that we're still at war with Iran, and it's probably not a great idea right now. It's costing money.
We won't be next week.
And I mean, I don't know. Sounds like it's costing money. Sounds like it's not doing good for the economy.
What?
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. I didn't want to get into it. It's been a long time since we've done like the spiraling because it's so bad. It's like the what is it, Scylla and Charybdis? Or I always thought it was Charybdis because it's the Sting song. All right, what else do you have anything else to say about the Odyssey? Because we should move on.
I thought it was okay. I thought it was pretty good.
Wow. All right, why don't you rank the Nolan movies?
I can't. I don't think I can.
Do you like Christopher Nolan as a director?
Yeah, I think he's fine.
Wait, okay, so did he do the Mars movie and then also the other movie?
No.
Okay.
He did Interstellar,
Interstellar,
not
yeah.
The Martian.
Okay.
So you're confusing your Matt Damon appearances.
Matt Damon's in everything. Remember when we were driving back and I was like half asleep and I was driving and I'm like, do you think Matt Damon's an asshole? And we had this whole conversation about whether or not, you think, no, he's probably nice, or no, is he nice? And then somebody else was an asshole. Like, right, you remember that? So, well,
I
this
don't
guy's
remember.
an asshole, but
yeah.
Matt Damon isn't. Okay. Good. Well, you liked it. That's good. Will you see it again?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't absolutely need to see it again like right away.
Oh, I was amazed. Here's what I was amazed by. I read that book in high school and I was
Amazing.
like, I remembered everything. I was like, Jesus Christ. And then I was thinking, I was like, whatever teacher that was that taught us that book really made sure that we learned that book. Like it must have been on a test or something. Like,
see, that's the thing is I know all the stuff in the Odyssey, but then the Iliad, right? So, like, I feel like we're both. I feel like I had a book where they were both together, and so did you? I feel like did you learn them both together?
No, we only learned.
So I'm
the
wondering
Odyssey.
if we only read the Iliad.
Yeah, and I feel like these are conversations that you and I guess you've probably gone back and listened to an older RadioZero, but like you and I over the past, how many years have we been doing this since? So 26, 27, 28 years.
I don't know.
So 28 years ago, we have had, like, this is kind of worrisome. Like, we've had discussions about, like, this, but now we've forgotten which one of us read the Iliad and which one of us read the Odyssey.
Oh,
but,
I know I
read
read the Iliad,
yeah,
but
and
I'm
I read
trying to
the
figure
Odyssey.
out if I read the Odyssey
you
also.
Probably did.
Because I feel like they were both together in a book, like the textbook or, the book you'd buy for school.
Okay. All right. Train nerds and dryer.
I was going to say, actually just flowing from the is Matt Damon an asshole is that I got back into, I had talked about this maybe a year ago. I think this book came out and I started reading it, but the book, What is Wrong with Men, Patriarchy, The Crisis of Masculinity, and How, of course, Michael Douglas Films Explain Everything.
Brilliant.
By Jessica Crispin. And I had the physical book, was reading it, but I only got through first chapter or so, but now I'm listening to it. And it's a great book. And so it's all based on, it's sort of talking about masculinity and patriarchy through the lens of Michael Douglas movies, and just how and it winds up being it's pretty amazing.
The
so
thesis is that it explains everything. Michael Douglas films explain
and it's not
everything.
about Michael Douglas.
Right.
It's about Michael Douglas movies. So it's like nothing, it's like what kind of person Michael Douglas is, anything, what his beliefs are. No, it's, going through like Fatal Attraction and War of the Roses, talking about divorce, and then Basic Instinct, talking about women's, liberation, Wall Street, and then Falling Down, talking about both sides. And that's the thing, is it starts, getting really into it because it's more of a political economic book, right? So especially because of Wall Street and Falling Down, where it's kind of like all these problems with masculinity and the patriarchy. And the argument is that the patriarchy has been replaced by this, economic hierarchy.
Oligarchy?
Right? No, not an oligarchy.
No.
But basically it's like, now it's about wealth. It's not about just being a white man, right? It's about wealth. And so it's not, and so the kind of and the problems that men are having with masculinity or everything like that are all, as a result of, basically corporate malfeasance, right? So Wall Street, talking about Wall Street and, what the idea of success is, right? So in the past, the ideas of work and working hard, right? Whereas, in Wall Street, it's all about, sort of gaming the system and finding, what corporations do, or venture capitalists do.
Greed is that the Greed is Good movie?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
all right. So the
And
1980s Greed is Good.
And then Falling Down is so you've got the one side where you got Gordon Gekko, Michael Douglas playing Gordon Gekko, and it's like representing that new sort of form of success.
And he's not, Gordon Gekko is not the protagonist in the movie, right?
Well, no, but he is. I mean, he winds up being, like for a lot of people, and that's she talks about in the book. It's like, oh, Michael Douglas, saying in interviews, it's like people, young men come up to me, or young men now, older, it's like, oh, that movie inspired me to go into finance,
Right, okay, all right,
Michael Douglas is like, what the hell?
It's not supposed to be like that.
He's the bad guy.
Right, okay.
And then falling down, which is the other side of it, where it's like a man who's basically been, he got downsized, right? He got fired, the corporate takeover of his company, and then he's kind of like going through and, attacking people or having conflicts with people, like immigrants.
Well, doesn't he get out? He's stuck in his car, like on the
traffic jam.
Traffic jam in L.A. and he just gets out of his car. That's what, like the premise.
Starts walking.
He starts walking, and then
he's interacting with all these people and kind of like
it's like the Odyssey.
It is like the Odyssey. It is, of course, it is.
Well, they're all the hero's journey.
Yeah, everything's a hero's journey, but he's an anti-hero, I guess. But the thing is it's all she kind of contextualizes it as he's scapegoating all these people, but the real sort of criminal, or the person that's attacked or offended or harmed him is the company, right? The corporation.
Right. Yeah.
They got fired from this job, the loyalty, all that's all happening, and that's kind of tying that into the what's happened with men, that idea of working hard, loyalty to a company, all that was destroyed, right? But then it's all scapegoating. He's focused on the employees at the fast food restaurant not letting him have breakfast, right? And they're the ones he's attacking. It's not the corporate,
right? He's short-sighted.
It's not the corporation.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a model for scapegoating.
So, and then you've got Fatal Attraction, War of the Roses, and Basic Instinct written down here.
Yeah.
These are movies I haven't seen.
Yeah, that's all gender stuff, so it's like and again, it's kind of scapegoating. It's like, positioning women's freedom or additional, sort of gaining liberation, women's liberation, right, as being the cause of problems, right, for men, or the downfall of men, whereas that's not really what's happening, right? Mm-hmm. It's like they're not taking away. Oh, and even arguments about like, that idea of like the middle-aged man who divorces his wife and marries a younger woman, and then the actual things that happened was what was the reality of what was happening during the 80s and 90s and continuous is that, women were able, through no fault divorce, women were able to separate from men who were, abusive, and so on. It was like that was more of the narrative of what was actually going on, right? Than I remember hearing other narrative, this other narrative, yeah. And so it's just really, really interesting.
So two questions.
Political economic book.
Yeah, two questions.
All through and it's just like Michael, and you realize, it's a great kind of construct or a great framework to work through all this stuff.
It's fantastic.
And it's just basically because Michael Douglas was a big star, right? In the 80s and 90s. But
so, like, you're not going to have, you're probably, so we were just talking about Matt Damon, and that's like, we're going to have, so Matt Damon, we can think about we can think about humanity or like society through the lens of Matt Damon or what the fuck is his name? Project Hail Mary guy.
So that was the thing, is they were talking about like Matt Damon, like talking to him about how like he's always somehow stranded somewhere or off, it's just like, that's like every movie, that's what happens to him. And so the question is what's the appeal? What is the cultural sort of resonance for that? And I guess that
starts with, Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
And individualism. I mean, it is that idea of the society and systems not working and you having to survive on your own, I guess, and fight your way back or whatever, right? And so even that, even Project Hail Mary, right? It's the individual, even though this was a communal project or whatever, right? It's all about an individual, sort of succeeding despite society or something
some
like
sort
that.
of, I guess. All right, so I'd love to cross-reference that with with Idiocracy, of course, right? Because that also sends a man off. But I had two questions for you about this book. So, did they mention the game at all? Because that's Michael Douglas.
It's later. I haven't gotten to the game yet.
All right, yeah.
I'm in the middle of economics. Actually, Black Rain just started, and so Black Rain is also economics. It's using it to talk about kind of American exceptionalism and the threat of other countries. So it's like the transition from military sort of might to economic might, and then threats to that, and that's American exceptionalism in Japan, and then talking about that. So I guess the problem is that or right now I'm in the middle of the kind of economic stuff, whereas the game that's later, and I'm trying to think of what. I haven't read that chapter yet or listened to that chapter yet.
Good.
So
and then also just a note that Michael Douglas is I'm thinking, well, how come they didn't? Harrison Ford was a big star too, but Harrison Ford movies are all they're all imaginary things, right? He's that's all. So if what makes this interesting is keeping it based on Earth and having these very sociological problem-y movies, right?
Yeah.
And it's man versus man, right, or something like that, and
man versus woman a lot.
Yeah, man.
So but the Fatal Attraction, War of the Roses, basic instinct is.
Okay, when I say man versus
gender.
man, I mean man versus women also.
Okay.
Right.
And then also the fact that he's Kirk Douglas's son, so comparing the heroic characters of his father, the earlier and even the fact that Kirk Douglas played artists, did play Van Gogh, even though I remember what was it the Van Gogh thing where was it what's his name the Western guy, famous, God bless it. John Wayne complaining to Kirk Douglas about playing this wimpy artist guy. It's just not a good thing. So I don't know. But anyways.
God. Oh, I can't remember what I was gonna. I had a whole bunch of different thoughts.
So. Yeah.
We got all right. So we got a couple of comments here. Tim Bowers is here. Says she's crazy. I'm not really sure who she is. We win. We get free oil. And Cohen's did a better Odyssey. So these are everybody's done many different Odysseys, or Odyssey, or Odysseys,
Odysseys.
Yeah. Yeah, many people have done I wouldn't compare the Coen brothers one to this one at all. And I've seen them both, and I wanted to see Oh Brother Where Art Thou before we watched this, and I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I'm glad I didn't get distracted. This is our Dairy King child gave a speech about film formats and stuff like that, but he also gave a speech about the epic genre of movies, and this movie was an epic. It was epic.
Yeah, it fit within that kind of classic.
Yeah, just real what are those what are those guys' names that did the big epic movies? Like
David Lean?
Yeah, Lean, yeah, and stuff like that. It's I think you could compare it to Bridge Over the River Kwai, or or Apocalypse Now, or
every time he's walking across a desert, you got a Lawrence Arabia thing going on. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely that. And then even just the fact, even on a rudimentary level where David Lean, not an IMAX camera, but a 70 millimeter film camera in the desert packed with ice, all that kind of, that epic, sort of journey.
Through technology too, right?
Stunt, kind of stunt technology, right? It's like the long take, right? It's the same kind of thing, but like David Lean, the stories of them, filming in the desert with this gigantic 70 millimeter camera, right? And the struggles and the issues that they went through, right? That's just, that's catnip for, directors who want to be, an auteur,
Right.
And so, yeah. And the fact that Stanley Kubrick made a film called 2001: A Space Odyssey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Hal's the Cyclops, but there's not a lot of, how much parallels. It's a much more abstract Odyssey.
Yeah, that's
but it's operating. I mean, there's so much, sort of like director psychology going on in the film too.
Well, it's
and
nice.
that's what I was thinking about the bear. Talking about the bear is like, ooh, when does a show like that become basically about making a show, right? So I was thinking, that last season of The Bear, it's really about making a TV show. Just in the same way, like the later Star Wars, the Lucas, what is the second or first trilogy, whatever you want to frickin' call it.
Right.
Like where there's all this stuff where somebody said, George Lucas spends all his time in meetings arguing with people about stuff. And they're like, there's so many scenes like that in these movies, right?
Yeah,
and the trade war, all that kind of stuff. And it's just like, he's
so wait, how was the bear
writing about his life.
How was the bear about?
I feel like, that whole pressure thing and the cooking, the one day, and of course that one day arc, but it's also the pressure, and it's like, being creative, right? And wanting to, and it's like, this is somebody writing about making a TV show.
Well, I enjoyed that too, though. Like,
it's like when bands just write songs about being on tour, right? When that happens. Or like, about being famous.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like at some point you wind up just writing your creative work just winds up reflecting the work.
Right. Dannon is also here and says, this is back from the war thing, estimates project that the war costs $200 to $700 million a day. That's direct cost, not indirect, like how much more people are paying for gas and other things. And all the tariffs now, we're doing like it's tariff time. Like our president is like a child, like a baby who like really and the Positive America guys. Yes, I'm listening to one of their podcasts, and they're like, it's just somebody who's like an obsessive cable watcher, and his understanding cable news watcher, and that's his whole understanding of history, and that's how he's taken care of. That's how he's ruling the country, and like. I mean, I don't know. All right, so Chad Twiner. We can go into Rick's online experience this week. So Chad Twiner says, "Hey Rick, I got a friend request for you on Facebook, and then you direct message me. How are you doing? Was that you? No,
was
I'm
this like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
because there was a fake.
Yeah, there was a fake
Rick Valentin up for a while. I did put in a fake account warning or whatever, Facebook comment.
Yeah.
What do they call it? Facebook request. I don't know what they call it.
Yeah.
Anyways, support ticket.
So there was a fake Rick Valentin going around. You can tell that it's fake because it's not him. I mean, I don't know. I could tell.
Yeah, and I don't write to people on Facebook either, so I wouldn't have written, "Hey, how are you doing?"
Yeah.
But I think it's been gone for a while, hasn't it? I hope so. I haven't heard from people lately. People for that first day, it's just kind of constant. Hey, it seems like there's a fake you.
Yeah, yeah. So why don't you tell us about Train Nerds and the dryer?
Oh, yeah. Well, the dryer, yeah. So finally, our dryer, our gas dryer, the one, we didn't talk about this, right? Where, like, the joke was I was fighting the robot. Like
you were repairing it. He's been repairing it for the past how many years?
I don't know. I've been working on a lot. So it's like at least 20, 25 years old. It was here when we bought the house, which was 15 years ago, and it was already old then. So it's entirely possible 30-year-old dryer that I've kept alive, right? Replacing various parts. It's like, what is it, the ship of Theseus? At some point, you've replaced almost everything in it, and nothing's real or nothing's original anymore.
I've got pictures of Rick just laying on the floor, like beside the dryer, like tinkering with it, or like fixing it. And you fixed it a bunch of times.
Yeah, in the last few weeks, and then it was the blower fan. I thought the problem was the blower fan needed to be replaced, and I replaced that, and it was still a problem. And then it was like the motors was starting to fail and get weaker and weaker, and I kept adjusting it and oiling it, and then finally it's ground to a halt. I could get it to kind of jump start. I could jump start it.
Oh yeah, you were like, press the button, hold down the button.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, I don't know.
And so I finally gave up on it.
I'm glad.
And we got a new dryer, but
yeah.
And then a bunch of people were, when I posted the RIP for my dryer, telling me that, oh, you can keep it running and everything like that. It's like, yeah, I know. It was a freaking 30, 40-year-old dryer.
Yeah, you've been
keeping it going. It's just
you needed to
I'm going to replace the motor then, and I could have looked up how much that would cost, but I couldn't get what was it? What couldn't I get part for it even from the, new old stock parts things? It was to the point, and then it was like I could source a motor for it, but it was like,
So is that your problem with the train nerds, or what?
Oh, okay. And then, so I don't know if you remember, like, a year ago I posted about solder.
And this is why Rick does not email or does not talk to people
online.
online.
No, and this was a little more positive, but it was
he cares about you and does want to know how you're doing. But
like when the solder, I posted the picture of solder and asked how did solder go bad, and it was like it was meant to be kind of a joke post that I had, I'd found
Radio Shack
of 40-year-old Radio Shack solder, and I was posting it, and I wrote, "Can solder go bad?" And then a whole bunch of people, it kind of went like mini viral. People were sharing it and telling, giving long people I didn't know, giving long instructions about what type of solder, how long, how it lasts, and everything like that. And it's like, okay, fine. But
you were really upset, though.
Well, for that, yeah, it kind of triggered. It was just like, hey,
Rick doesn't like somebody telling him. Like mansplaining to him.
Yeah. But then, the other day I posted a picture of a train going through an intersection outside of town. Mm-hmm. Where was that? Lincoln, Illinois. Mm-hmm. And it says, trains can go up to 80 miles per hour. And I posted a picture of it, or a video of it, and then that went mini viral. And I've got people like on Instagram sharing it and everything like that. People with names like train fan number 300 and everything like that, and all of a sudden I've got followers who are train followers, and it kind of blew up. And then there are people asking, why does it have two luggage cars on it, which was like somebody had seen, like this Amtrak train goes by lightning fast, right? And apparently, and I can't remember what the response was, but it's like these train nerds are all talking about it, and it's like, oh, there's a reason why they tack on a second baggage car onto this Amtrak train, because maybe it's like a length limit or something. Well, it was really interesting,
but it was right before Old Beauty or Old Faithful or whatever.
And that's the thing, is that the largest steam engine still in operation went through town the other day. So it's like it's like train mania going on here in central Illinois. But I don't know.
What, that's it?
I guess that's it. I don't know what else it is.
Are you?
I think maybe what I need to do is I just need to post stuff about mechanical things.
Yeah.
And
you know what? You know what soundtrack you could
and say something.
Go ahead. Act like a like a woman.
No, like I don't know. I don't know how to do it or anything like that. It's
okay.
Like I should have said on the post about the dryer, I should have said, farewell old friend, 40 years or whatever. I mean, I kept it alive. I kept it alive a long time.
Yeah, you shouldn't feel
bad. Did the same thing with the dishwasher. I kept our dishwasher going forever, and then it was like, finally, at some point it's end of life. You gotta put it down.
We have, so I feel bad every time I throw out a like one of those Ziploc bags that we have. Like we reuse these Ziploc bags all the time. Like we spend a lot of energy like repairing and keeping old things.
And so here's the thing: is the washing machine, right, that we have is like maybe 20 years old, right? It was newer than the dryer, and so the people before us, I don't think we bought that washing. No, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
The people before us had done the same thing, where it's just like, oh, you just keep the appliance, and then it's like, oh, the washing machine broke. The 30-year-old washing machine finally broke. We're going to replace it, and they did that, but they kept the dryer, right? And so that's the thing too is, I didn't buy a new washing machine to match the new dryer.
That's right. The new
Also,
dryer is totally different.
Didn't buy the science fiction dryer, but in fact, when I was talking to you about, okay, I did the research and I'm going to get this dryer, and then I looked at it again and I'm like, oh no, wait, this one has an LED.
This one's got an IMAX screen in it.
No, it didn't even have.
Yeah.
I was saying it doesn't have the AI stuff. It doesn't have the Wi-Fi, anything like that. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. It's got the digital display though. It had a little LED display or
and you just said
LCD display, and
I
was like, oh no, wait, okay. There's a cheaper one that's just the big knob.
Yeah, because less things will break on it, I guess. So here's what I was going to say. When you post these mechanical things and ask questions about them, why don't you stick a little salaryman in the background there? People
Just
be like, who's this
marketing?
Who's this woman-like man who doesn't know how old solder can be? What's this song? Chad Twiner says, I posted Kathy Hilton's embarrassing performance on Wheel of Fortune and got an insane amount of views. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. It's, I did put a Salaryman song on something that I posted.
Not a new one, though.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll I the thing is I don't expect. I should have known that a 10-second clip of an Amtrak train driving by really fast would have caught a lot of eyeballs.
Oh, it's very, very I don't know. It's very entertaining or something. So maybe you need to put that in the video. Add that shot in the video, just in the middle of it. Just like got the video and then train.
All you need is knob. That's right. Okay. Well, I gotta get back to work, man.
Yeah.
I gotta get this set done.
Me too. All right, let me take off the how to screen print with Ecotex.
You can talk about that next time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna play the outro music.
All right, you do that. Thanks for listening, everybody. And just remember, all you need is knob. That was nice.